I'll have to correct Colin on that. It's 5:30 tomorrow night, game time in Iowa City. We had a good week last week. To get 3 out of 4 in the week is always good, especially when you're on the road in the Valley. Bradley's a really good team. They've got probably one of the best lineups in the league as far as being very selective hitters and getting the most out of their swings. They're close to 300, if not a little bit over 300 as a team. And I thought probably one of the toughest teams to pitch against up and down the lineup this week. It's one of those things where you just got to make sure that you're ready to out-hit them. Pitching for them is probably their weakness right now, and I think we were able to take advantage of that most of the time this weekend. But the biggest story of the week, I think, is Bailey Lang, freshman Bailey Lang, coming in and winning 2 out of those 3 games for us in the circle. Did a really nice job against Iowa State. And then I thought probably was the toughest matchup for the Bradley offense, just because she changes speed so much. She's not really overpowering like Chelsea, but she's going to mix speeds, and they did a really good job with their timing. And I think having 4 different speeds really confused them, and she did a nice job for us and shut them out in game 1. And our bats have just been phenomenal the last 6 games. The games we haven't scored a lot of runs in, we probably left 11, 12, 13 runners on base. So we're doing a really nice job with the bats, and having Bailey step up for us in the circle was big. This week, we've got Iowa tomorrow. It's always fun to go down to Iowa City and play against the Hawkeyes. And then this weekend, we have Loyola at home, which the weather looks great, 70s both days. Loyola is a very tough team. You look at the standings in the league, and they're at the bottom portion of the standings, but they have 2 really good pitchers and some hitters in their lineup that are really scary. They've got some good offensive numbers there. Just a team that you just never know what you're going to get from them. But they've had a lot of success this year, and building off of that, and in our league, every team knows it doesn't matter where you're at. You could be last in the league and move yourself up to 3rd or 4th in 2 weeks. So we got to be ready to play, and I'm excited to get another home series at home. Kind of get that taste out of our mouth from that Indiana State series last week. Any questions?
Well, how good is Iowa softball? What do they got going this year?
They've been up and down. I mean, they've beat Texas. They've played some really good games in the Big Ten. Played some teams tough, but there's just a really scrappy team. I think pitching-wise has been a little bit more inconsistent than they've had in the past. But from an offensive standpoint, they do a really nice job. Just putting a lot of pressure on you. They've got some speed. They've got some power. It'll be a nice, tough midweek contest for us to get us ready for Loyola.
Iowa doesn't play UNI in all the sports. How do you approach it with, you get a chance to play Iowa State and Iowa? How big a deal is that for softball that you get an opportunity to match up with them every year?
Well, I think, with the recruiting that we do, we do try to recruit a lot of the Iowa kids, and it's important for them because, they've all heard about Hawkeyes their whole life. Whether they're a fan or whether they weren't, they at least knew about them. So, I think that adds a little bit to a lot of our girls on our team to play against them. Knowing that they're in a little bit different situation than we are, and we go up with a little chip on our shoulder regardless. So it's nice to be able to get them to play that way midweek. I think it really does prepare us for going into Loyola. Any other questions? Thanks.